Oh, yeah, I really want to see that. I just saw
Oh, wasn't that great? We saw Wednesday night. We have season tickets for Wednesday, but next year we're going to have Saturday evening
okay.
season tickets.
I just thought the precision between rock and choreography was amazing.
Wasn't it?
It was like a soundtrack or something, you know.
This show about that the water. Oh my gosh. The lady that got played there, really, really good. They rock and roll. Although, I still think Brown Jordan Big Ride is so funny.
Actually, I saw Darnell, the guy on the roller skate.
Yeah.
He said that if anybody ever mentioned that show, they always mention the roller skate.
The roller skates, yeah.
Because that's what I remember.
Yeah.
Mostly.
Yeah, that's. I remember when they were I wish I could get this thing. I know the someone well.
My mom's basically, I mean, I was they were still some
Shabbat Shalom. So we'll do the same thing we do every Friday night, taking a moment of silent reflection, thinking about the highs and the lows of the last week, what we'd like to carry with us into Shabbat, and what we'd like to leave behind. If there's something that's happened in your life recently that you'd like to bring into the space, we'd love to hear it.
Our daughter just moved to Indiana recently with her husband and 2 kids. We were up there for Mother's Day to visit them, and that was a lot of fun.
Beautiful. So their child, Vivian, moved to Indiana not that long ago, and the first trip up was for Mother's Day? Wonderful. Yes, Jan?
my niece and her twin, my nephew, Ben and Faye, graduated from college.
Oh, wonderful.
And a friend of mine, her son, who's struggled with cancer, who lost his leg at age 18, is going to graduate with his class and is going to walk in his graduation tomorrow.
Beautiful. I'm just going to repeat it for the microphone and for the people online. So nephew and niece graduated from college, and a great good friend of hers whose 18-year-old son has fought cancer and even lost his leg too is going to be able to graduate and walk with his class. Anything else that you'd like to share? Marta?
My son Henry's turning 4 on
A 4-year-old birthday party for Henry. I know, it is weird. Anything else? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, my friend Ellen is here from Akron, and my friend Lindsay is here to.
Awesome. Welcome, Ellen from Akron. Yes.
May 18th, 2013, to the day, my wife and I got married by you. We're celebrating our 5th year anniversary.
Awesome. So exactly this day to the date was when they got married, and we did it, I think it was the last wedding we did in the old building. Yep. That's a big deal. So I just want to welcome any guests who are in the room. If there's anyone who hasn't been here in a long time or it's the first time and they want to share their names, we'd like to hear it. And if you don't, that's okay. We'll get you. Yes?
Well, we were guests, but
Yes.
we're members.
Woohoo! Could you introduce yourselves?
Marilyn and Larry Benjamin.
Do you guys hear? We want you to scream it louder.
Louder,
Mhm.
the name,
Yeah.
Marilyn and Larry Benjamin.
Marilyn and Larry, yeah. So welcome. We're so glad to include you as part of our community. Anyone else who isn't, right, anyone else who wants to introduce himself? Okay. If you're online, we welcome you. We're glad that you're part of our community, and even though you're not in our physical space, you are definitely part of our Minyan. And we just got a new streaming computer. Bob is ready to do this, so we're pretty excited. We're going to be playing some things, so especially our regular online worshipers, if you can send us an email afterwards and say that was amazing, or Bob, work on your oh, he's like, no. We're just going to play around a little bit with this new fancy gizmo that we got to make your streaming experience better for those of you online. Also, as you might have noticed, a little different, we're doing a quinquennial tonight, which is we celebrate people's anniversaries. We're on the number 0 or 5. And the synagogue's been doing it for 60-something years, so it's something that we do every year. And Janice has provided the beauty of tonight in terms of the food and the decorations. But there'll be a part of the service where we'll do a reconsecration of vows. So we'll be doing that in the middle part of this. So you'll see some wedding themes going through it. With that, I welcome up all our brides to light the Shabbat candles on page 2 and 3. Just the brides. Eileen and Lou Levy are supposed to be here too, celebrating 70 years of marriage, but Eileen unfortunately is in the hospital. So we include her as one of our brides.
Let me make them stick. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'chadlik ner shel Shabbat. Amen. Gotta get through the wax.
Celia, can you do the English?
Blessed art thou, O Lord our God, King of the universe, who has sanctified us with thy commandments and commanded us to light the Sabbath lights. I don't know if that's what's in there, but
No, it's all right.
But that's okay. It was good. It was accurate. It's good.
Okay. Oops.
Hear my prayer, I sing to you. Be gracious to the ones alone, and bless them with goodness and mercy and peace. Oh, hear my prayer to you. 24. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hashem, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Amlachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu. Uni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Amlachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu. Zedchem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We're going to turn back in our book to page 20 and 21 as we sing L'Chadodi, welcoming Shabbat as if she were a bride, chanting verses 1 to 5 and 9. L'Chadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikabela. 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 Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשמו תפארת ולתהילה. L'Chadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikabela. L'Chadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'melcha, ki hi mekor habracha, merosh mikadem nesucha, sof ma'aseh b'machshava tila. L'Chadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikabela. L'Chadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikabela. Verse 5. Hitoreri, hitoreri, ki va'oreh, kumi uri, 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 shi'etaveri, kivot arai alayit nigla. L'Chadodi be seated. Not too long ago, the rabbi played a very large role in facilitating a marriage. He might have helped make the match. He might have explained to the couple what it means to be husband and wife. He might have served as an ongoing listening ear for marital issues long past the wedding ceremony. Nowadays, the couple stands underneath the chuppah, the wedding canopy, on the wedding day, has already accomplished most of the things that a rabbi might have done years ago. They have found each other, decided they were a good match, and committed to a lifetime of partnership together. Now, the wedding is about a public affirmation of a love that is well established, rather than a newfound love, just the start of their relationship. This doesn't mean that our tradition sees weddings any differently than we did before. After all, our tradition teaches that a marriage is a miracle almost as great as the splitting of the sea of reeds. And the very nature of bringing two different people together into a harmonious and loving couple is a testament to God's power, creative wisdom, imagination, and let's be honest, patience. There's this really beautiful midrash, a sacred story, that asks the question, what did God do after God created the world? God made matches. After the created world, God spends all God's time ensuring that matches between souls are being made. One of Judaism's teaching is that in the beginning, all earthly creatures are created in one spirit. God splits each spirit into multiple parts, and upon the soul's arrival into the world. And it's the hope that with marriage, these parts rediscover their oneness. Their light finds one another, and together creates a third light that points directly to heaven. So I'm just going to pause there, because I think this is an absolutely beautiful teaching, and it is totally imperfect. Because it assumes that we're created in multiplicity, that there's only one puzzle piece to match with, right? That we can only find one kind. But in truth, we have many soul matches. We have best friends, we have work partners, we have vision partners, and heck, let's be honest, we have our dogs. And no one person or animal can complete us or actually return us to our whole selves. Judaism doesn't teach that there is only one person for every other human being, but that there are many pieces to our puzzles, and that there are stepping stones to the journey of realizing our full potential. That a soul partner is someone that helps us get closer to our truest whole selves. And I can't say any of what I just said at a wedding day, right? And I can't say anything about how there will be dark seasons, lonely moments in marriage. There's no talk about the weeks, months, years after that perfect wedding day, about the dirty socks on the floor, a forgotten birthday, an unnoticed haircut. Because let's be honest, that soulmate, that other half of your soul, well, she, he, they are human. And by human, I mean totally frustrating. Can you tell I'm hitting the 7-year mark? Yes, a wedding is not the same as a marriage. Those of you who have been married a long time know this to be true. There will be difficult times, and there will be really wonderful times. And the words of our wedding day hopefully rings true in our ears, that when we said yes to the person in front of us, yes to their past, yes to our future, the person we and our partners will become. And I think the same can be really said about our faith. Our faith changes with the passing of time. When we are young, it can be easier to have faith. The world seemed a bit kinder, and right and wrong were closer to black and white. But with time, the wrinkles in the face of the world start to show. And it isn't about unloading the dishwasher or towels on the floor. No, our disenchantment with faith comes from injustice, genocide, loss. It comes from witnessing the brutality of life over and over and over again and questioning God's role in that process. Every time we hear of a person struggling with illness, a family who, God forbid, has lost a child, an unarmed man shot in the street, hurt when there should have been protection, lost when there should have been relief. In these moments, which happen all of the time, faith can feel really far away. We may question our faith, question God, question whether we want any part of this religion, this belief that God made the world and is here as our partner. The word question Hebrew is is she'elah. Let's practice that. She'elah. Good job, class. So Elie Wiesel, of blessed memory, said that questioning is so holy to Jews because God's name El is part of the very word of question, she'elah. Questioning for Elie Wiesel is a way of honoring the divine. The belief is that our faith is strong enough to endure difficult discussions. We challenge and we question, and hopefully, at some point, we return with greater faith made stronger through deeper conversation. True belief doesn't come from blind acceptance, and commitment to our faith doesn't come from ignoring reality. Rather, our faith matures, hopefully grows, expands enough to include the pain and the beauty of the world. And whether it is in partnership with God or partnership with one another, we understand that our souls contain sparks of the divine. We believe that we are matched with other souls in this world as part of our creation story. Yet we also understand that we live in a very complicated world, one made better through companionship of good friends, family, and partners. In a marriage ceremony, once under the chuppah, many couples circle one another. This is an old custom, though not required as part of the liturgical service. And I've seen an increase of this, that many of the couples that I marry, and I marry about 28 couples a year, most of them in our faith, they still choose to do this. So it can look a couple different ways. It's the bride might circle the groom 3 times, as in Hosea. She might circle her groom 7 times because of the number's mystical significance. 7's a very holy number for Jews. Or most often what we see in the Reform context is that the bride will do 3, the husband does 3, and then together they do 3, or bride and bride, or groom and groom. We circle for many different reasons. It began as a magical means of protection, with the bride creating an invisible wall around the groom to protect him from evil spirits, other women, and earthly temptations. And then the groom circles the bride to demonstrate that she is now bound to him. It's also thought to create a newly established family circle, shifting allegiance from parents to one another, which is pretty pertinent for Jewish families, Jewish mothers, to see that line around their sons. Most liberal Jews are super uncomfortable with the magical explanations of circling or the symbolic suggestion that the husband is the master. Most Reform Jews interpret circling to be a symbol of creation, of the space the couple will share, rather than a single act of subservience. The couple encircle one another with light, and some say it is the light that now surrounds a man as he comes out of bachelorhood. Others might suggest that it is the light of wholeness and newfound identity. This light, the circling and wholeness, which the couple welcomes one another into, is the essence of what the couple is supposed to represent for one another. According to Maimonides, there are 3 tiers of classification that happen with the circling. The relationship grows from chaver ledavar, a companion for help, to a chaver ledaga'ah, a companion for burdens, to a chaver lede'ah, a companion for destiny, signifying a sharing in the covenant and the whole meaning of life and those ideals which stand forever. Through ritual, we remind ourselves of the many types of partners that we can be, whether with God, or with friends, or with our spouses. Judaism asks us to remember that we are part of something larger than ourselves, and through our relationships and the way we treat others, accept those we love, question and recommit, circle with light and protect, we are connected to the divine plan of souls finding other souls in this world. Shabbat Shalom. What we're going to do is we're going to move to page 350 and sing a classic Israeli wedding song. Ooh. Erev Shoshanim, Etzena Mobusam, Mobesamim Ulevona, Laregla Mivtam, Laila Yorevea, Beruach Shoshan Oshva, Haba El Fashlak Shibala, Zemer Sha'ava. We turn back in our books to page 26 for Chatzi Kaddish.
V'yid hadar, v'yid halev, v'yid halol, shemei d'kudisha. Lam yinkom yechata, v'shirata. Tushvechata v'nehemata, daniram v'yalma, yivaru, amen.
Worship, page 28. Together at the bottom of page 30. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night, and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzvaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. At the bottom of page 33, we continue responsively. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. Then this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo. Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Please be seated. We're on page 36. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'otecha v'hayu hadavarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinatam levanecha v'dibarta bam B'shivtecha b'veitecha, uvlechtecha havaderech, uvshochbecha uvkumecha, ikshartam leot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha, Uchtavtam, al mezuzah beitacha, uvi sharecha. Leman tizkaru, vasitem ekol mitzvotai, vitem kedoshim leloechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzeiti etchem meretz Mitzrayim, liyot lachem lelohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem emet. Page 39. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha neheta b'kodesh. Nora tehilo, osei vela, nora tehilo, osei vela. Malchutecha, ra'u amecha, ukeaya, livnei Moshe, ze'yanu ve'amru. Adonai imo, Adonai imo, le'olam. So we always begin our services thinking about the positive things that happen to us that we want to bring into the space. And I say, oh, just leave the rest behind for the next hour. And that's really not realistic for most of the things that are extreme in our lives or what's happening in the world. So this is the time, with this prayer, Hashki Venu, it's all about darkness. It's all about creating safe zones in that darkness. I'm curious what you're holding inside the darkness. And my guess is, in the space of many Jews, that one of those things is what's happening in Israel and Palestine right now. I'm curious if that's something that's been bothering some of you. And I don't know about you, but when I've been in multi-faith environments or places, I'm not just with Jews, I've been asked a lot of questions that I don't know how to answer. And it's not just because I don't have the facts, but I just don't know how to answer. And then it feels strange to answer, well, I don't really know how I feel about that, when I'm supposed to know. Right? We're supposed to know these things. And then I'm in a Jewish place, and I find this other, like, aggressive side of myself where I suddenly have all the answers in that space. And so I just wanted to bring that here, that I think that it's a really hard time right now, and it's hard to speak out about what is true and right. And I am actually in the middle of writing something for the Inquirer that'll go out next week, and as I'm working on it, I don't want to annoy anyone, and then I know I'm going to annoy everyone. And I think that's sort of what Israel does to a lot of us, right? That the Zionist energy, this commitment to homeland, this love of Israel, and great frustration and pain at seeing something pretty egregious happening, very egregious happening, and trying not to see it as an attack on ourselves as people, but as something we need to do that's right against oppression. And so I think that that's what this prayer is all about, is holding multiple truths in the same place, of looking for nuance, not black, not white, not dark, not nighttime or daytime, but something in between. And how can all those truths exist as one place? So if you want to have that conversation, I think this is the place that you have it, with either someone next to you afterwards over cookies or at Mio's for dinner tonight, or later to make an appointment with me or to someone next to you to have coffee and say, I too am feeling this way. Would you want to talk about it? And try it out on a safe person. And I think that this room is a room of safe people, that we understand that we're coming from different places, and then maybe expanding our voices a little larger than that. So with that and that hope, we'll continue with Hashki Venu on page 42. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leShalom V'hamitenu Shomrei Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leShalom, V'habitenu Shomrei, Nu leChayim, Ushmor Tzedenu, Uvoenu, leChayim u'Shalom, Me'ata ve'ad olam. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leShalom, V'habitenu Shomrei, Nu leChayim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leShalom, V'habitenu Shomrei, Nu leChayim. We continue on page 44 with Vishamru, rejoicing in the covenant, passing from generation to generation. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam berit olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam berit olam. B'ni u'bein b'nei Yisrael, oti le'olam, oti le'olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam berit olam. Ki shishet yamim asa Adonai, et ha-shamayim ve'et ha'aretz. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam berit olam. U'bayom hashvi Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam berit olam. We rise for tefillah, beginning on page 46.
Eloheinu, Eloheinu,
seated as we continue together at the top of page 55. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. Together at the bottom of page 57. You are with us in our prayer, our love, and our doubt, and our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Baruch atah Adonai, sha'orcha levadcha b'yir'ah na'avod. We continue with our prayer and hope for abundant peace on page 60. Shalom Ra'ah Yisrael Amcha Tasiyim Le'olam. Shalom Ra'ah Yisrael Amcha Tasiyim Le'olam. Ki Ata Hu Melech Adon Lechol HaShalom. Ki Ata Hu Melech Adon Lechol HaShalom. Shalom Ra'ah Yisrael Amcha Tasiyim Le'olam. Shalom Ra'ah Yisrael Amcha Tasiyim Le'olam. Tov b'necha levarech et Amcha Yisrael bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. As we pray for peace, we turn our minds and hearts to the places that are seeking peace and healness and hope and wholeness in body, soul, and mind. We think about those who are in hospital rooms right now, in nursing facilities, and in their own homes. Those who struggle with addiction and deep grief and struggling to do what's just right in the world and how hard that is. Struggle with difficult decisions ahead of them. And we also include in our prayers all those who bring healing into this world: doctors, nurses, therapists, caregivers, family, and friends. If you'd like to share someone's name who is in need of healing, or your own name, or a people in the world, please do that now.
Dominic Watkins. Sarah Watkins. Rhoda Meyer. Fran Merrick. Eileen Levy.
Julie Magnuson, Shalom Magnuson, Elaine Levy, Lou Levy, Jeannie Belford, Jerry McKenna.
Deborah Schwab, Kathy Young, Tamara Stone.
Amber Grinder, Megan Warren.
Arnold Applebaum, Joyce Applebaum, Leo Applebaum, Roberta Applebaum, Judy Avner, Mira Barner, Marcy Bine, Sheila Boniface, Andrea Kanowitz, Ethan Kadish, Yael Kraus, Lee Krinick, Margaret Haywood, Elaine Heightfield, Mel Hudson, Ira Lerner, Judy Levy, Eileen Levy, Dennis Little, Joan Lieb, Marcy Maxwell, Nancy Newmark, Stacy Pinsky, Phil Ryan, Iris Riggs, David Rose, Betty Roth, Bob Rubin, Karen Schwartz, Iris Sham, Alexandra Sprague, Mahea Stoneman, Susan Warshauer, Ann White, Fran Victor, Chaim Ben Yaakov Nechama, Judy Levy. We include everyone we mentioned out loud, those we hold in our hearts, and all of us in this room, part of the service, as we're all on a journey towards healing in some way. If you'd like to follow along with me, I'm on page 253. Misha Berach Avotenu V'Imotenu, Abraham, Yitzchak, V'Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, V'Leah, V'Yivarech et HaCholim Ha'eleh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yimaleh Rachamim Alehem, L'Hachlimam V'Tam Chazikam, V'Yishlach Lahem Meher Refuah, Refuah Shlema Min HaShamayim, Refuat HaNefesh, Refuat HaGuf, Hashta B'Galav Bizman Kariv, V'Nomar. Take a few moments for private prayer, either with the words of your prayer book or the words of your heart. Now's the time to get your green sheets out. And we're going to ask our wedding couples to come up as they're called, just in front of the screen zone so you have some room and not smushed up here. And then there's less neck cranking for you guys. For the first screen. So we welcome Dick and Joanne Schwartz, 60 years. You're gonna go up. Bob's gonna switch the slides. So we call up everybody.
We don't have any green sheets.
You're fine, I gotcha. This one. Dr. Jerry and Judy Kurza, 50 years. Bobby, just go, yeah. Celia and David Lassie, 45 years. Cindy and Richard Snyder, 40 years. Paul and Tila Evers, 40 years. They're not here tonight, but we'll give them up. Dr. Mark and Peggy Ekman, 35 years. That's it. Alan and Julie Solomon, 35 years. Jan and Michael Kravitz, 25 years. Okay, so everyone has a part here. And if you don't have a green sheet, there is a screen. Years after your wedding, I call upon you to affirm again the bonds of your heart. Please turn to your partner, your beloved, hold their hand, and share with your love these words. Go ahead. I need These are the words from our sacred tradition, the Song of Songs. This text reminds us of the value of love and partnership to our sages, to tradition, and to one another. The holiest unions in our lives are the connections that we create ourselves. May God smile and be gracious unto you. May you feel blessed as you continue to be consecrated together as beloveds, partners, and friends. May you continue to share your feelings, experiences, and passions together. May you strive to bring out the best in one another, cherishing one another's unique nature. May you bring out the best qualities in one another, forgiveness, compassion, and integrity. Let this moment serve as a consecration of your commitment to one another, as you recall the words from the Sheva Brachot, the 7 blessings, from the traditional Jewish wedding ceremony. If you know the tune, you can sing with me. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher barasason v'simcha chatan v'chala, asher barasason v'simcha chatan v'chala. Gila rina tzitza v'charva, ahava v'achava shalom v'reut. Gila rina tzitza v'charva, ahava v'achava shalom v'reut. Mehera Adonai Eloheinu, yishema b'arei Yehuda, u'v'chutzot Yerushalayim. Kol sason v'kol simcha, kol chatan v'kol kahala, kol sason v'kol simcha, kol chatan v'kol kala, kol mitzalot chatanim mechupatam, una'arim memushte nigatam, baruch ata Adonai, mesamech atam im hakala. We praise you, eternal our God, sovereign of the universe, creator of joy and gladness, man and woman, love and kinship, peace and friendship. O God, may there always be heard in the cities of Israel and the streets of Jerusalem the sounds of joy and happiness, the voice of the bride and groom, the shouts of young people celebrating, the songs of children at play. We praise you, Eternal One, who causes wedding partners to rejoice together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. Bless them, eternal God, our beloved couples. Bless them in their hearts and in their homes. May their loved ones rejoice in their happiness. May their plans and hopes continue to bring light into their lives. And together we say, Amen. Amen. Thank you so much. Congratulations. So you guys can come back to your seats. I'm going to welcome Donna up for some announcements. No, yeah, Donna. And as Donna's coming up, I want to thank our choir for being wonderful, for Dr. Bailey always for lifting us in prayer and song, for Bob for streaming with our new fancy gizmo, and John for so wonderfully ushering us through this. Again, Janice, thank you so much for volunteering to do this. And then Donna. Okay. You got it.
Shabbat Shalom. I just want to congratulate all of our quinquennial couples. And I was going to thank everybody, but Rabbi, you just did that. But thank the Rabbi for her leadership. And I want to call your attention to the announcements on the back of the order of service. I'm not going to read all of them, but since we are celebrating marriage and love tonight, I thought I'd call your attention to the next Just Love event, which is on May 31st. And the theme is going to be Art for the People, hands-on community art creation. So keep that in mind. And the prayer for our community. May Adonai, the source of life, who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless this entire congregation of Temple Sholem, together with the synagogues in Cincinnati and all holy congregations in this world. Bless our community, our children, our families, and all that is theirs, along with those who unite to establish synagogues for prayer, and those who enter them to pray, those who devote countless hours of their lives so that our synagogue may be a thriving place of spiritual welcoming. May the Holy One reward those who contribute to our community with healing, forgiveness, and personal strength. May God bless them by prospering all their worthy endeavors, as well as those of the entire people Israel. And let us say,
Amen. Thank you, Donna. Just a reminder, Shulam Fuels at Mio's, and Julie gave me a highlighted copy, so I'm just going to read the highlighted one, which is, join us for an opportunity to watch an FC Cincinnati soccer training session, which is followed by a meet and greet with two of the FCC's Jewish players. So look at that. There's more details. Do I need to do more than that? That was good. Great. Before we continue the conclusion of our service, it is the last night of the Omer, the counting from Passover to Shavuot. So tomorrow night we have Shavuot, which we know how you guys like to party, so we're bringing in Buzz Creamery from OTR to do a demonstration on how they somehow put bourbon into ice cream. And then you're really going to enjoy my study, so it's going to be great. It's all a ploy. And of course, there's non-alcoholic versions of too that'll be available. So that's tomorrow at 8. So the last night, your jobs, you should say amen in your yotze, you've done the mitzvah. I prayed for wonders instead of happiness, and you gave them to me. Never forget that as you proceed upon the path, you leave behind traces in the heart of those you have loved and those you have denied. You leave impressions in the memories of those you have hurt and those you have encouraged. You touch the spirits of those you have embraced and those you have shunned. It is a great responsibility to live and know of all the words I have found, kindness is the most powerful. It can transform the world. At the end of my days, the only thing I will regret in my life are the times when I was unkind. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al tzvirat ha'omer. Praise be you, Adonai, our God, who rules the universe, instilling within us the holiness of mitzvot by commanding us to count the Omer. Today is the 49th day, 7 weeks of the Omer. And together we say, Amen. 282 at the bottom. Rise, please, when you get there. be seated. We're on page 288. When I die, give what's left of me away to children and old men that wait to die. And if you need to cry, cry for your brother walking the street beside you. And when you need me, put your arms around anyone and give them what you need to give me. I want to leave you something better than words or sounds. Look for me in the people I've known or loved. And if you cannot give me away, at least let me live in your eyes and not in your mind. You can love me best by letting hands touch hands, and by letting go of children that need to be free. Love doesn't die, people do. So when all that's left of me is love, give me away. We commemorate the yard sites, the anniversary of the passing of William Brandt, Elaine Rogovin, Agnes Carson, Benita Gail Rosenblum, Bertha Lauter, Eva Bernstein, Damon Wolfe, Robert Carson, Velma Post, Charlotte Sherman, Retta Kaplan Herman, Michael Goldfeder, Michael Slobodnik, Elsie Robbins, Dr. Sanford Scheingold, Charlotte Marcus. If there are other names of people you're remembering or you'd like to bring into the space, please share those names now.
I'd like to say Kaddish for the 10 young men and women who were killed in Houston in yet another school shooting this afternoon.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. If you are in mourning or commemorating yard site, please rise first. We see you. We are with you. We rise together as a community of comfort for all those we mentioned out loud, those we hold in our hearts, and for all of those who have no one to say Kaddish for them as we continue on page 294 with our prayer for hope. Skadal v'kadash shemei rabba v'yalma divrach yirite v'yamlich machute v'chayachon v'yomechon v'chaye tachol be'Yisrael v'galal v'zman kari v'imru Heshmei Rabba Mevarach Leolam Omei Omaya Yitbarach V'Yishtabach V'Yitba'ar V'Yitromam V'Yitnaseh V'Yitadar V'Yitaleh V'Yitalal Shmei G'Rishah Le'ela Minkol B'Chata V'Shirata Tish B'Chata V'Nechemata Ta'amiram V'Alma V'Imrum Yehi Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya V'Chayim Aleinu V'Kol Yisrael V'Imru Say shalom bimroma, hu ya'aseh shalom, Aleinu v'yakol Yisrael v'imru. Say shalom bimroma, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, v'yakol Yisrael v'imru, imru, amen. Ya'aseh shalom. Yahaseh shalom, shalom aleinu v'yakol Yisrael. Yahaseh shalom, Yahaseh shalom, shalom aleinu v'yakol Yisrael. Please be seated. We'll conclude on page 349. we go to our wine and to our bread, to our kiddush and our motzi, and to pizza at Mia's, if you could connect to one another to receive a blessing, and if you're online, you can put your hands out, and if you're not a toucher, that's okay too. Whatever just works for you. Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha, Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichunecha, Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasam lecha shalom, 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 v'yasam lecha shalom, shalom, v'yasam lecha shalom, 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 v'yasam lecha shalom, shalom, v'yasam lecha shalom. May God bless you and keep you. May Adonai's face shine upon you, be gracious unto you. And when God's face shall shine upon you, may it bring you strength, courage, and peace, so you can go out and make the world the way it should be because you're in it. And together we say, Amen. Shabbat Shalom.